Up everybody, welcome back to another video. So the World Economic Forum is meeting in Davos this week, and this is where the global elites make decisions for the rest of the world that nobody really likes. Like none of the decisions they even make are even good for anybody, and that's what we're going to go over in today's video. We're going to go over all the highlights over day one of what happened at Davos, some of the topics they were going over, because I don't like any of them. And I'm sure a lot of other people out there wouldn't like them either. It's complete control of the entire world. And we had this room full of people. I'm pretty sure there's like 2,500 people there who are making decisions for the 8 billion people on the planet. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So I'm glad there's some journalists out there who are getting good coverage. All the clips that I'm pulling up in this video, I got them from Andrew Lawton from True North from his Twitter account. I think it's very important to credit the journalists who actually made the trip to Davos to get all this information. I think it's very important to credit them for their work because it's like that's an expense and it's really good coverage of like the most important event in the world right now. What's happening this week in Davos should be what everybody should be paying attention to. In my opinion, any of the other big stories they put out in the media, like, the monkeypox thing right now, those are all going to be a distraction from what they're actually talking about in Davos. So I have 5 clips right now from the first day in Davos of what they were talking about. And we're going to start off with Klaus Schwab's introduction speech where he talks about how the global elites are actually the ones who make the decisions for the world. So you can check that out in this clip here.
Also be clear, the future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
So this narcissist and all the other narcissists in that room with him think that it's okay that they make the decisions for the rest of the world. They're smarter than everybody. They have the best ideas. So it's all up to them. Like they don't have any good ideas. If the World Economic Forum actually presented good ideas, like actually better humanity, it probably wouldn't be as much of an issue as it is, but they aren't better in humanity. Their entire goal is to enslave humanity. So we need to nip it in the bud. We need to talk about this. And now the next thing Klaus Schwab is talking about is how future pandemics are actually on the agenda. So listen to him say that now.
But we also are at the tail end of the most serious health catastrophe of the last 100 years, COVID-19, and we have to reinforce our resilience against a new virus possibly, or other risks which we have on the global agenda.
So they're not even trying to hide anything. He straight up said there that pandemics are on the agenda. What he's probably trying to say, like the cover story here, is that they want to be prepared in case another pandemic happens, but they're just going to create another pandemic. Like it's pretty obvious what they're doing here. And that was Klaus Schwab's introduction to the World Economic Forum. Like he even brought President Zelensky on the big screen. Like this, for a guy fighting a war right now, he sure has a lot of time to go meet with his globalist friends. And now the next thing we're going to go over is how some of the top bankers in Europe were talking about the digital currency that they're currently developing. So check that out here.
Fast forward 5 years. Do we have a central bank digital coin out there in the world that is being utilized on a daily basis, whether it's wholesale or retail, and it becomes a superior system? Francois, yes or no?
We have several experiments which are not very far from that. They are not yet generalized, but they could be, let's say, the next 3 years, probably. It will go quicker on the wholesale side,
Yes.
I guess, because it raises less sensitive questions.
So digital currencies are not a good idea because the government is going to have full control over how to manage that money, how you get access to your money. Like we even seen in Italy where you have to show a QR code to actually take your money out of an ATM. So things like that could definitely come down the pipe. With China's social credit score system, you make a bad post online about going against the Communist Party, then you can't get on a train. You can't do certain things. So then maybe they'll stop limiting your access to your own money if they do this. They're going to try and implode the Canadian dollar, the US dollar especially, and they want to replace it with the central bank digital currency, which is bad for everybody, especially if you have like large investments right now in stocks or 401ks if you're in America, if you have RSPs here in Canada. If that money just goes to zero, then all your retirement savings are just gone. So that's not good for anybody either. And now the next clip here is the Australian e-safety commissioner talking about censorship online and how we need to rethink free speech.
We are finding ourselves in a place where we have increasing polarization everywhere, and everything feels binary when it doesn't need to be. So I think we're going to have to think about a recalibration of a whole range of human rights that are playing out online, from freedom of speech to the freedom to, to be free from online violence, or the right of data protection to the right to child dignity.
So they want full control over conversations on the internet. They don't want anybody going against the narrative. They want to completely change what free speech actually means. Unfortunately, America is actually the only country with the First Amendment that has absolute free speech. Even in Canada, we do have free speech laws here. Like there was that comedian in Quebec a couple years ago who was fined like $30,000 for making fun of a handicapped person in the crowd. He won his court case. He didn't end up losing that. So that was definitely a good win for free speech. But the fact that they're even going to try and limit people's free speech is what the issue is. The fact that they even want to. They don't believe in free speech. They don't believe in a free marketplace of ideas. And if the WEF has control over what you can say online, you know that is going to be extremely bad for everybody. Okay, now this last clip here, this actually might be from day 2. This might be from this morning because I saw it posted about like around 6 a.m. this morning. I'm not sure what time it is in Davos in Switzerland right now. So this might be from today or maybe late last night. But this is extremely disturbing how the president of Alibaba is talking about how a carbon footprint tracker that he wants to put everybody on, and just listen to what he has to say about it.
We're developing through technology an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
So I don't know anybody who would willingly sign up for a program like that. The government's going to try and force it on the people. They're going to track everything you do. The gas you put in your car, where you go, the foods you consume, absolutely everything. Like that's total enslavement of the human race right there, to just track everybody's movement on around the world. That's not okay at all. I don't like that whatsoever. I don't think a lot of people out there should like that. So, I uploaded all these small clips to TikTok if you want to go there and check out my quick responses there, but I thought it would be a good idea to bundle them all in one YouTube video so everybody can kind of see it in one place. So I'm going to keep covering what's going on in Davos. I want to give a huge shout out to all the journalists who made the trip to Davos to get all this coverage. It's very important that they go out and do that, and it's very important that they get credited for their work. So Andrew Lawton, thank you for getting all these clips out there. I think it's amazing that he's out there doing that. And everyone needs to pay attention to what's going on in Davos this week. This day 2 right now, I'll cover if there's more that they talk about today, I'll put it up in another video. I'm going to cover everything this week that's happening in Davos because I seriously think this is one of the most important weeks in human history. So everybody needs to be aware of what's going on. I hope you like the clips I showed you today. You can kind of get an idea of what they're talking about. They're talking about everything. They're covering all the bases in Davos right now. They want to really push their agenda extremely hard, and this is the week that they're going to be discussing the things that they're doing. So if you guys agree, share the video out there, and I'll see you next time.